Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So, what is going on today? Let's all brace for impact from these events. Yes, that's right. There are some major events that are happening right now. So, let's talk about them. And let's talk about how they affect Bitcoin and crypto and everything else that's going on. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. Bitcoin is, it's about the same as yesterday. 62,600. Ain't too bad. Ain't too good. Ain't too bad. Some of the alts came down a little bit since last night, but overall, Bitcoin is in pretty much the same position as yesterday. The U.S. market may be opening, yes, as open in the green today, so we may see a little rebound, but there are a few developments that are happening today, and they are quite impactful. So let's talk about them. Number one, we do have this to look forward to, and this ain't going to be a good thing. So approximately sometime tonight, about 12 hours from now, we will get a massive Category 5 Hurricane Milton. Well, hopefully it calms down to a Category 3, but still, Hurricane Katrina was at a 3 when it hit land, and look at the devastation. So Milton will hit Tampa and carry through into Daytona Beach sometime tonight. So gotta brace for impact there. Obviously, that's not going to be good. I don't know what residents are doing right now. I'm hearing, some are boarding up their homes. Some have left their homes. Some are, living in their basement right now. I don't know what's going on. I'm hearing some crazy things happening right now. DeSantis is not taking calls from Kamala and Biden, and not taking FEMA grants. I don't know what's going on over there right now. So it's kind of crazy. So this situation obviously is not good. Hopefully it's, hopefully it's not as bad as some of the other hurricanes that we've had, but supposedly this is one of the worst ones ever that's ever developed in the Gulf of Mexico, like 1 in 5 that has developed into Hurricane 5. So let's see what's going to happen. So prayers go out to everyone that's in Florida, and hopefully, we're good. Actually, now I'm looking at it. Okay, this is tomorrow. Okay, we got one more day, but still, that's tomorrow. It's not gonna go away unless its trajectory somehow changes and it completely misses Florida, but that's not gonna happen. So we got that to look forward to still, which is not something that we want to look forward to, but it is still something that's ongoing. What else is going on? I saw this also, and this is also a big major thing that happened. China has been going crazy recently because of all their stimulus stuff, basic stimulus packages that they've been getting out, and they just had another another press conference which everyone thought that they were going to announce more stimulus packages and more money being given out, and somehow they didn't, and that caused a whole lot of sell-offs. So that was also very, very, very bad. It's kind of like how when we have the FOMC meeting and everyone expects Powell to do something and then he doesn't do it and the market crashes. It's kind of like that, but worse, because they've been giving out a lot of money and then all of a sudden it kind of stops. So they did something, but it was just a lot less than people expected. There's some kind of special bonds that they gave out, but basically they stopped giving out money. So afterwards, if you look at it, well, first of all their tech sector, basically every tech stock went down and crashed afterwards. Alibaba, Tencent, every Baidu, every single one crashed down double digits. Obviously no good. The entire Hong Kong index went down almost double digits, the worst day since 2008. So obviously that has come to a stop. So that is also something. And you could argue that when that happened, that kind of brought Bitcoin down, right? Because there's a time difference there, you know, like they're like 13 hours ahead of us. So that could have had something to do with us. But here's the thing. This could be a good thing for Bitcoin, right? Because some have speculated and some insiders have said this, because China's stock market was going up so much, so fast, that a lot of the whales from China was selling off crypto to buy their stocks. Because it makes sense if you think about it, because everything was blowing up. So why would you not sell, say, Bitcoin and crypto to buy their stocks? Because everything was just going up like crazily. But now that stopped, maybe now the money is going to go flow back into crypto. So that could be a good thing. We'll see. We'll see if that theory is true. I don't know if it's 100% true, but if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense, right? Just like in the US, if you have a stock like, I don't know, Nvidia, for example, if Nvidia just blows up every single day and it goes up, let's say 5% every single day, and it just keeps going, it makes a lot of sense that people that are holding on crypto would say, well, that's the fastest horse in the race. I'm going to sell out some crypto and go buy Nvidia. It's kind of the same thought process, right? It kind of makes sense. But we'll see. That just happened. So, you know, we'll keep our eyes on the market and see how that's going to affect Bitcoin and crypto. But what I do know is this: China has bigger plans for crypto. So this just came out that they are set to approve more crypto exchanges. So all the ones that you guys have heard of here in the West, like Coinbase and Crypto.com and say Kraken and OKX, and some of the the Middle Eastern ones like Bybit and others, the major ones, none of them are approved in Hong Kong yet. But by year end, a lot of them will be, right? So they are starting to embrace crypto in a big way. And eventually, this is going to carry into mainland China, which, of course, has not happened yet, right? Hong Kong is the test bed for them, and once that happens and it's okayed, then they will allow the entire country to embrace it. So eventually that's going to happen. That's probably not going to happen this year. Probably, I don't even know if it's going to happen next year. But that's their direction. That is going to happen eventually. And if you think about it, that in itself is quite amazing. For a country that once basically banned Bitcoin and kicked out all the miners, that was not too long ago, just a few years ago. They literally kicked out every single Bitcoin miner from the country. The hash rate dropped tremendously because of it. And now secretly they just like let them all back in. Now the hash rate for Bitcoin is led by China once again. And US is number 2. It's quite amazing how that happened. So this is a developing story out of China. All right. So moving on, you know, I've been covering a lot of countries recently. So outside of China, we know that there are a lot of other nations. Like yesterday, I covered this, Bahrain. So another nation out of the Middle East that is getting involved with Bitcoin. So it's like not every single week, but it seems like every single month we're hearing about a new nation getting involved with Bitcoin. So that just came out yesterday. And of course, last month, all of a sudden, Bhutan, it was revealed that they hold $1 billion worth of Bitcoin and they have a big mining operation and they continue to mine more and more Bitcoin. So it's like now it's not even about just retail and institutions. Now it's about countries getting involved, right? If you think about that, how amazing is it and how far have we come that we're talking about nation states getting involved with Bitcoin now? I mean, that's just crazy. Even a few years ago, we didn't talk about that. We speculated, but we certainly did not talk about nations getting involved with Bitcoin, Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin services. I mean, that just shows how far we have come within just such a short amount of time. That's pretty crazy. All right. Outside of nations, what else? Of course, the institutions are still FOMOing. Yesterday, we had a massive inflow day, plus 235 million, led by BlackRock and Fidelity. Both had plus 100 million. So inflows still more than outflows. Even though last week, yeah, we had 3 negative days. But, I mean, just look at the weeks prior, though. Look at September. September was absolutely fantastic. We had billions upon billions of inflow, right? So even though the first 3 days of October were bad, we're making up for it. It doesn't matter. And like I've been saying, just because the first week of October so far has been bad, and today is technically the first day of the second week, just because we haven't had the Uptober the name implies does not mean October is over, okay? It's still very, very early. Until we are in November, October is still in play. Oh, by the way, speaking of countries, I forgot to cover this. Sources are saying Argentina may also adopt Bitcoin strategy because recently their vice president visited El Salvador too. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. Argentina also suffers from hyperinflation. They need something better, and Bitcoin is the way. So, I mean, again, we have nation states that are looking to adopt Bitcoin. We have gone global. It's the only thing, really. It's not the only thing. I mean, obviously we have commodities, we have other precious metals, but it's the only digital currency that we have that's not controlled by any sovereign states or centralized entities, right? That's fully being embraced worldwide by all nations and all people alike and can't be stopped, really. So that's why Bitcoin is so important and so valuable if you think about it. All right. Now, as for everyone coming in, what does that really mean? Well, look at this. Okay, this is actually kind of staggering if you think about it. The new whales versus old whales. The new whales have invested $108 billion. The old whales in total since Bitcoin's inception, $113 billion. That means the new whales coming in have almost tied all of the old whales' investments. That shows you how much money the new whales have. And that includes these nation states and, of course, the institutions. Okay, so that's within a very, very short amount of time. Most of that came in 2024, right? So this is one of the points I've been making. Like, look at how much has flown into the ETFs. within 9 months since January till now. That's only 9 months. Think about how much flown into the ETFs in 9 months. Now, add another 9 months. Add another 9 months. Add another 9 months. Think about how much will be in the ETFs in 5 years or 10 years or go 20 years, 50 years, right? It's just going to keep on going in. It's just going to keep on taking Bitcoin out of supply, out of circulation. And there's so much money out there. It's so easy for these big boys, these new whales, to just remove enormous amount. The FOMO in this parabolic cycle that's coming up is going to be so tremendous. It's not like anything we have ever seen before. I honestly believe that, because we never had institutional interest in any of our previous cycles. This is the first time ever in history. So it's going to be quite amazing. It's going to be quite amazing. All right, last few things I'll just say or show. Giant couplet handle, I showed this yesterday, right? Still in play. In fact, you could argue yesterday we did break out a little bit from that handle, but then we came back down, so we're still waiting to break out from that. Here's a similar pattern to 2017. We got a lot of similar patterns. I mean, fractal patterns, I could show you fractal patterns all day long. We got so many similar patterns to previous cycles. It's just a matter of time before we break through. Right now, we have a lot of distractions. Okay, we have a lot of things holding us back from October. We know that, right? We got this hurricane that's coming up. We got this big war that's still ongoing. This conflict that's in the Middle East, right? We still have a conflict in Europe that's still ongoing that doesn't get a lot of press, but still ongoing, right? We have a lot of things happening that are distracting us, and now we have China. We have our own problems here in the U.S. too. I mean, there are a lot of things happening that's kind of distracting us from October. But Bitcoin is strong. Bitcoin does not care. And eventually, it cannot be held back any longer and will break out and continue forward, right? Just like all previous times. Every cycle before, we had similar problems. We had similar distractions. And you could argue even bigger distractions. Every single cycle. I mean, just think about the last cycle. Think about in 2020 when we had our last halving event. That was when we were in full-blown lockdown mode. Everyone around the world was sitting at home, forced mandatory lockdown. Okay, you couldn't travel, you couldn't work, everyone was fighting for toilet paper. Think about how bad it was in 2020, and people were fearing for their lives, and even then, Bitcoin still rallied. That was a much scarier time than now, and yet Bitcoin still found a way to rally up from $10,000 at that time to $69,000. I mean, just think about that. We have distractions every single cycle, but Bitcoin finds a way every single time. And lastly, I covered this, but this is pretty good. Everyone that lost money at FTX will actually make it back, every single penny, plus interest. So you will make $1.19 for every dollar that you have lost. And repayment is going to start soon. So if you lost $50,000 or less, you will get it next month. And if you lost $50,000 or more, you will get it next year. So, whoever they hired to get the money back for FTX is kind of crazy. They were able to accomplish this. But also, if you think about it, if they were able to get all their money back and more, you know, SBF, he must be like punching the air right now in jail. He must be thinking like, what the hell did I do wrong if I lost no money? Like, that's kind of crazy. Like, did he actually lose any money, or he just like, you know, he just forgot where he placed all the money? I don't even know how they were able to accomplish this. Anyways, the good thing about this is everyone's going to be made whole and more so, but everyone's going to be paid in cash. So you figure the 16 billion that people are going to get soon, they're probably going to buy crypto with it. They're not just going to take the money back and do nothing with it. They're probably going to invest with it. And if they're going to buy crypto with it, well, that's a crazy amount that'll be inflowing into crypto. So, yeah, that'll be good. All right. That's pretty much it. A little boost with Bitcoin right now. That's good. Let's see. The stock market is up. NASDAQ is up today, so that's good. Let's see. MicroStrategy's up. Oh, man, MicroStrategy is still going. Yesterday was up 5%. Today is still going. It's really close to its 200. It's high from earlier this year. March of this year was 200. It's getting dangerously close. MicroStrategy is leading the way. Once MicroStrategy breaks that March high, that means Bitcoin is near too. So obviously Wall Street loves MicroStrategy. We're going to see the same thing with Bitcoin soon. So that's a good sign. All right, let's do some Q&A. Let me see. I missed some super chat. 20, the big one. A nun? I don't know if I said that right. A nunge. $20 super chat. Thank you. Appreciate it. Giovanni. Hello, everyone. Appreciate it. Giovanni again. Appreciate it. WD Dog. Any surprise SEC suing Crypto.com? No. You have a Crypto.com icon. Are you asking if they are, or like did that happen? Because I didn't hear that. Is Nero overrated? I think so, because everyone started asking me about it. Whenever everyone starts asking me about something, generally speaking, it's overrated. Stephen Hobbs, it's not the Robinhood CEO. It's the Robinhood head legal guy. I covered that yesterday. It's just rumor. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen, but it could. It could happen. Coinbase is still down today. Nvidia continues to climb, which is good. Today's a good recovery day. Did you watch the HBO show Satoshi? No, I did not. Supposedly, they uncovered who he is. I don't believe it. I don't think anyone's going to be uncovering who he is. The FTX repayment is large because it's in fiat. Yeah. They basically took how much was lost in fiat and they're giving it back. That's my understanding. Michaelis, no problem. The Dragon Ball multiverse. Man, don't get me started about Dragon Ball. Why did they not come out with Super 2? You know, there's this guy I follow on TikTok that's been like sharing the comic book. You know, he's been like, you know, just basically dubbing what the comic book is talking about. Like, why did they not come out with a series with that yet? Like, I don't know what they're doing. But basically, what you're asking, BTC topped the cycle 300 to 350K, then back down to 125, 180. I mean, that could certainly happen. Yeah. And if that happens, you know, it's a 50% drawdown, which makes a lot of sense. I don't believe we're going to have another like 80% drawdown. I just, with the institutions in, I just don't see them panic selling. So can we get a 50% drawdown? I think that's very possible. But I think it's less impactful than even that. I think it's going to be more like 30, 40%. And that's probably due to greed, like too much leverage. And we may see that, but then we just continue forward. Yeah, the manga, basically they need to do Super 2 based on the manga. I think they already have it. Like, I don't know why they don't do it. Um, you know, I hear bits and pieces about like Frieza Black and you know, and then Ultra Ego Vegeta, and I don't know what the new form for Goku is, and like, and Granola, and whoever the other villain is. Like, I want to see that. It's been like 10 years since Super's been out, I think. Oh, there we go. We're back to 63 again. I'll give you guys a pro tip. If you go into leverage trade, do not leverage trade memes, man. I hate it. Hate it. Every time I hold on, I leverage trade memes, I end up losing money. Because they go up so fast, but they go down so fast too. They have no holding power. I just had to take a big loss on whiff last night. I hate it. Just don't do it on memes. When is altcoin season in your opinion? Next year, Q2, Q4? I think it's like else. I think November, December this year we'll go see altcoin season, a mini one, kind of like what we saw in March and April. But true altcoin season will be Q4 next year. We'll probably see it same time, around the same time, October, November, December next year. Oh man, MicroStrategy is about to break. It's really, really close. Really close. Look at that. I know it's not Bitcoin, but it's very, very close to Bitcoin. I mean, look at that. It's about to break that March high. March 27th. I have a few shares of MicroStrategy, not too much. Man, MicroStrategy is just like, it's just insane. It's the only thing since 2020 that has outperformed Bitcoin, or one of the only things. That's actually quite amazing. Today, Robinhood is shooting up too, which is great. Nvidia, a little bit too. Nvidia back to their August high, not as high as June. Today, Bitcoin is back. Bitcoin needs to break above, I think, about here, about the 66,000 mark. That's when it breaks through this handle. Or the bull flag, you could argue. That's when it could take off. It needs to break like right here. 65.7. What was the last good movie you watched? Was it Deadpool and Wolverine? Yeah. It wasn't a great movie, but it was a fun movie. I'd definitely say it was a fun movie, yes. But the plot wasn't the greatest. Milgauss. The U.S. is in a debt spiral, printing more money to ease pressure, worsening inflation. Investors are moving assets out while new administration pile on debt to fulfill election promises. Yeah, but we all knew that already. That's not going to change. That'll never change. That's why we have Bitcoin. What do you say about the Lexus brand? Boring, quite boring. It's reliable, but boring, and the luxury is second tier to the Germans. Man, I hear the second Joker is just like a big flop. I would never see it. I saw the first one and I thought it was like really stupid. And I hear the second one is even more stupid. And it's like half musical. I hate musicals. So that makes me less inclined to watch it. The LC500 is good. I actually would consider getting LC500 convertible. I think that car has a timeless look. The new one has been upgraded with a new infotainment system. And, you know, even when they discontinue that, I think that will look good forever. And it's a nice V8. It's not the quickest, but it sounds great. And the car just looks great. It just looks awesome. I think the LC500 could be a contender for a car that I would pick up in the future. Did you see the new Transformers? It's actually quite good. Yeah, the cartoon one. I didn't see it. I was asking my kids if they want to go see it. I saw the reviews and the reviews were like phenomenal. So I'll probably go see it. No, LC500s are not 250K. They're you can find the non-convertibles under 100K. The convertibles are still like over 100K. I don't think this is a fake out. I think this drop is a fake out. MicroStrategy is still strong. I think this is an indicator. Let's see. Look at this. State sues TikTok over app's effect on kids' mental health. Why are they not going? Why are they not suing IG, Instagram, or Facebook, or Snapchat, or anyone else? Why are they suing TikTok? Yeah. I mean, this is a clear indicator that Wall Street's appetite for Bitcoin is strong. So I think this might be a fake out right here. This is trying to fake you out, and then I think we go back up. I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe MicroStrategy is so strong that Wall Street rather buy MicroStrategy over Bitcoin at this point. Outlook on Polygon, please. I think it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's not gonna be as strong as before. It's not gonna be as strong as 2021 because back then there were very little L2 options. It was the strongest L2 option in 2021 when it was a L1 L2. I mean, it was L1, but it was also like a scaling solution for EVM, but now there are so many. So I think it'll come back up, but it's not going to be nearly as strong as before. You know, even YouTube. YouTube have shorts too. Like they're all the same kind of content. IG Reels, you know, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, they're all the same kind of stuff. So, I don't know. Obviously, I know why they're targeting TikTok, but I'll say this. I get a lot of news. I get a lot of news. Like, I know a lot of people think, you know, it's just like brainless stuff, which most of it is. But I get a ton of sports clips. I get a ton of news. I get a ton of like important stuff fed to me all the time. I think it's great. Evil, you are confusing the LC 500 with the other. You're confusing it with um yeah, I forgot the other one. You're confusing it with the exotic one that they came out with. The LC 500 is the one they still produce. Yeah, YouTube Shorts now have extended to 3 minutes. I knew that was coming because all the other ones have gone beyond 1 minute. Yeah, the LFA. That's the one that Evil was thinking about. YouTube would love to buy TikTok. They would love to buy it. If the government forces TikTok to sell, YouTube or Facebook would love to buy it, but they would just essentially kill the brand. It wouldn't mean anything anymore. And they wouldn't need to buy it. If the government kills TikTok, then there's no need to buy it. Then you're left with IG Reels and YouTube Shorts. And either one is fine. They all have the same videos. What I hate about IG Reels or Facebook Reels is you can't pause. So anytime you want to pause, you can't. So then you have to rewatch it again. So every time you press the screen, it just mutes it. I hate that feature. So that's how they cheat the system. That's how they say they have like so many views, because every time you want to like pause, you can't, and it makes you like rewatch it. So all these like platforms have their own ways of cheating the system. Do you see Sui flipping near? How high? Maybe it could, or it could not. Just keep in mind, Sui has run up a lot in a very short amount of time. It will cool off eventually. So don't fall for the FOMO completely. It's a great project, but at some point, it's going to cool off. So I know a lot of people are feeling a lot of FOMO about Sui and thinks it's going to go up forever. It won't. It will cool off. Vatican. I never understood the fascination with the LFA. I don't. Like a lot of people think, it's a car to get. I just don't. It's a slow car. It doesn't look good. Yes, it sounds good to V10, but so does a Lambo, and it's not worth the price tag. Like if I had an infinite amount of money, LFA would not be on the list of cars I would get. Um, I think it's extremely overrated. I've never once thought that LFA was a good car to get. And I hate the looks. I hate the looks. Um, I don't know. Like I just don't get the fascination with the LFA. I think the LC 500 looks way better than the LFA. Ming, stop it. Yeah, I think LFA goes way more than quarter mil. I think they go for like a half mil and maybe even like 3/4 of a mil now. But again, I think it's extremely overrated. I have no idea why it's so coveted. It's not a car I would ever want to get. Is the market ticking down today? It's still Nasdaq is still holding. Nvidia is still holding strong. MicroStrategy is still doing okay. Coinbase not doing well. Yeah, Bitcoin not holding out its gains. Any thoughts on ADA after Chang? I don't think it's going to make a big difference. I mean, if you're asking about like if it's going to pump, no. Is it going to make Cardano better? Yeah, it will. More decentralized, more scalable. Yeah, sure. Cardano, people love to hate it. People love to say it's boring. People like to say a lot of stuff, but ultimately, you know what? It's still one of the bigger L1s, and Charles Hoskinson is still leading the way. And, you just got to give him credit. And there's always a chance. They hit a high of $3 in the last bull market. There's always a chance they could get back to it. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Coinbase stock. I think I think people are very underestimating Coinbase, just like they're underestimating Bitcoin. Coinbase obviously is the dominant exchange in the US. Once the market comes back, they will benefit the most. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But they are severely down from their high. Like, not even close. When they debuted, they were at 400 something. Yeah, I think Coinbase will shock people. Once the bull market really kicks in, I think Coinbase is going to skyrocket. At least get back to here, which is like, the 260s, 260, 280 level. This was too big of a drop off, right? Like at least to here. It should be like back here. Have you bought any Politify coins? No, they're all fake, man. NMCT, they're all fake. They're all meme coins. None of them mean anything. Will Polygon go above prior all-time high? I have no idea. I really don't. Free speech. I've been watching every day for 3 years. You're to go. Thanks for helping the little man. I appreciate that. Thank you. Pizza Hut. Yep, I bought Coinbase at 400 back in the day. That sucks. You never want to buy something at open. But you know what? I think if you hold, it will get back up there. I think sometime in next year, it will get back up there. What I don't understand is why Coinbase is always having problems, especially when the market has something happening, pumping and dumping. I mean, that just shows you retail FOMO, right? When something's happening, there's just too much demand. But I've called them out before. Like, by now, don't they have enough money to beef up their server so that they won't have these kind of problems? That seems logical, right? But I don't know. Maybe all their servers are on AWS and AWS doesn't scale like that. I don't know. Do you think Pepe will be listed on Coinbase? I do. I'm surprised Pepe isn't listed on Coinbase yet. I think Coinbase is scared to list Pepe because Pepe may be seen as security. They went through a few things. Supposedly they were hacked. Some of the early members like changed the multi-sig requirement and stole a lot of Pepe and stuff like that. I think because of that, Coinbase was scared off. Robinhood listed Pepe. So I think eventually when the bull market hits, Coinbase will probably relax their stance and say, okay, let's list Pepe. I think they will eventually. Man, MicroStrategy just does not stop. I wish Bitcoin would follow more like MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy just keeps on going and it just does not stop. And it just keeps going and going and going. And then, and it's almost back to its March high. And Bitcoin right now is just being suppressed. Let's how do I could overlay them on top of each other. I forgot how to do it. How do I do it? Here we go. Yeah, I think this is MicroStrategy on top of Bitcoin. $48, 49% higher than Bitcoin right now. All right, guys. Man, today it's extra long. Almost an hour. To conclude, got a lot of impactful events. So stay strong, my friends. We still got a hurricane to worry about that's coming up in about a day. China today had a horrible day. The U.S. looking promising today. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one. Stay strong. And again, see you tonight. Take care. Bye-bye.